With the Listening to Leaders report, we wanted to solve a critical gap in our information. We wanted to finally understand from the perspective of low and middle income countries, leaders in these countries, what did they think are the most important priorities to solve for their countries, and what support do they need from the international development community? We fielded a survey to over 55,000 policymakers. This includes government officials at middle and senior level in all different types of agencies. We're looking at civil society leaders, private sector leaders, and the local representatives of development partners like the World Bank or the United Nations that are active on the ground. We wanted to understand what leaders had to say about their top priorities. And then we compared that against information that we had gathered from another survey called the My World Survey on citizen priorities. And then we actually looked historically at what donors were investing in as getting a sense of their revealed priorities in terms of how they were channeling their resources. And we triangulated these data points to get a sense of to what extent do these groups agree or disagree in terms of where to focus their efforts. And some interesting findings came out. Leaders value three things: education, jobs, and strong institutions. I'll also say that they put a lot of faith in building industry as a gateway to brokering new prosperity for their countries. Donors are more willing to come alongside leaders when it comes to their faith in industry as a way to broker and bolster economic growth in their countries. Citizens are more concerned about issues proximate to them, ensuring access to food and jobs. They're less concerned about the issues that leaders care about when it comes to bolstering industry or creating jobs for everyone. I think we can see that there are some very clear indications of certain parts of the Sustainable Development Goals agenda where there is broad consensus. And those are education, jobs, and strong institutions. Leaders and citizens globally view these as the most important problems for their countries to solve. And donors should pay attention. And we actually see that donors maybe have an important blind spot when it comes to issues around jobs and schools. I also think that there's a challenge for issues like the environment, where there's actually agreement, but not in the direction that we want to see. Whereas where we see donors and citizens and leaders, while they may care about the environment, it's not registering as a top priority for them. And here, it's important to make the case, I think, of how these global public good issues like the environment matter now, and how do you make this more salient to citizens and leaders? Well, we know they care about issues of jobs, and they care about issues of food security. And so how do you connect preservation of the environment to those issues that we know that citizens and leaders care about most?